Mike Pritchard came on my radio show on Monday, and he
dropper.
said something that many would consider to be very controversial. He was talking about Peyton Manning. I asked him what he thought about how Manning has played through the first quarter of the season, and he very strongly said Manning's role in this offense is to be a game manager and just don't screw things up. That was his quote. Just don't screw things up. Now, on the surface, you'd say we're talking about a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah, I hate that.
Okay? In reality, we're talking about a guy with 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a number of them costly, and a rating of 80. I'm guessing you disagree with what Pritch had to say, but do you disagree or vehemently disagree?
Well, I see his point, Eric. I just think there's games where, like I compared to a pitcher, like if he doesn't have it, then there are games they need to be more conservative with this defense and let the defense win the game for him if Manning just doesn't have it that day. Where I would disagree that he's not a game manager, because there are games where I do believe, as in with Kansas City, where he went out and won the game for him.
Well, Detroit, you can say that
yeah.
about all 4 games. Game managers don't do what he did at the end of all 4 of these games, whether with sustained drives that ate up clock or drives that led to field goals or winning touchdowns. I just, the whole game manager thing, when I hear it, you know, next to Peyton Manning's name, it just drives me crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't apply to him, but there are games where he needs to probably recognize in the play calling that if you don't have it that day, you know, live to fight another day. Like the interception before the half against the Vikings, he made a bad read, which we almost never see from Manning, misread the coverage, and the guy dropped off. He looked like he read it as a different like kind of coverage, and it ended up being the cover 4 where the linebacker dropped in, and that's not a mistake Peyton makes. So that's what I'm just saying. There's going to be times with this defense where if you're up 24-10 late in the third quarter and you're on your own 8-yard line, maybe you're a little more conservative. That's all. Does that make him a game manager? I'm saying in certain possessions you have to manage expectations because of this defense. There's no reason to compromise this defense by taking unnecessary risks on your own side of the field.
You and Les talked about the Kansas City game, and maybe I saw a completely different game than everybody else out there. When Manning kind of went to his offense in the second part of the second quarter, he was terrific. He looked like the Manning of old. 2-minute drill at the end of the fourth quarter, he was absolutely terrific. As I've said all along on the radio show, you're not going to see the old Peyton Manning, but you will see flashes of the old Peyton Manning. In that Kansas City game, we saw flashes at the end of the second quarter. We saw flashes with the 2-minute drill. In between all of that, honestly, he really wasn't that good. In the second half, he completed 50% of his passes.
I'm not arguing with you on that, and I don't think Troy would either, although I don't mean to speak for you, Troy, but there is an inconsistency to Peyton's game right now. There's no doubt about it.
But everybody's talking about Peyton Manning like, wow, look what he did in the Kansas City game. Look what Tim Tebow used to do in the final 2 minutes. He was magical. And I'm not comparing Manning to Tim Tebow, but that's what that game felt like to me.
Please don't do that, ever.
That's what Tim Tebow was. He was awful for 58 minutes, and in the final 2 minutes, he was nothing short of terrific for at least, 6-7 games. But honestly, that's what the Kansas City game was to me.